So, you wake up early, you sit for hours with your books, you try different productivity hacks and time management tips. You even sacrifice your sleep. But when the result comes, it hurts. And everyone around you says you didn't study properly. But what if I tell you you did study hard, you just studied wrong? In this video, I am sharing 5 insanely powerful study tips that became my academic weapon and completely changed my results. And the last tip is insanely powerful. Let's start with the biggest and most frustrating problem, which is everyone tells us to understand and not memorize, but how to actually understand. So let me show you a study method that completely changed the way I learn. It's called the SQ3R method, and it stands for survey, question, read, recite, and review. Step 1. Survey. Basically, preview the chapter. Before you start studying properly, quickly go through the whole chapter. Don't make notes yet. Just take a highlighter and scan the pages. Mark things like headings and subheadings, learning objectives, important points, or any diagrams or pictures. Use one color for subtopics and another for important points. This helps you to see what actually matters in the chapter, so that you don't waste your time making notes of unimportant topics. Also, while doing this, try to understand the flow of the topic. Like for example, if the chapter is transport in plants, first you learn plant parts, then their functions, then processes like transpiration and translocation. When your brain knows the flow, everything connects better and you don't feel lost while studying. Step 2. Question. Now, after studying one small section, start asking yourself questions. Literally pretend you are the teacher making an exam paper. Turn headings into questions like what is transpiration and how does water move from root hair to xylem. Write down as many questions as you can. This makes your brain curious, and when your brain is curious, learning becomes way easier. Step 3. Read. Now read the section properly and find answers to your questions. But don't copy-paste from your textbook. Try to write the answers in your own words. Step 4. Recite. After every section, you need to stop and recall all the questions that you have written down. Do not continue with your study session until you can answer every single question that you have written down. It's a form of active recall, which is the best, most efficient way of remembering. The reason why questioning yourself is so effective is because our brains aren't satisfied if we don't have answer to a question. So by studying using questions, it keeps our mind very engaged and active. Step 5. Review. Look back at the flow of the topic that you have drawn. If you can see the chapter title and mentally list all the concepts in order, that means you actually understand it. And trust me, revision becomes so much easier after this. Tip number 2. If your results aren't great and studying doesn't feel a little uncomfortable or challenging, then honestly, you are probably not studying in the right way. Most students do passive studying. That means things just highlighting the textbook, only listening to lectures, or studying notes again and again. Reading the same thing repeatedly only makes you familiar with the topic. It doesn't mean you truly understand it. Real learning happens when you actively engage your brain. The more you involve yourself mentally and physically while studying, the better you understand and remember. This is called active studying. So instead of just reading, write down important points during class, paraphrase concepts in your own words, try recalling information without looking, solve practice questions, and explain the topic to someone else or even to yourself. Use multiple methods because your brain remembers better when information comes from different angles. That's how the information moves into your long-term memory. Tip 3. You are probably not curious enough when you study. I'm sure there are so many moments where you read something and think, wait, why is it like that? But then you just ignore it and move on. Don't do that. Instead, make a small list of everything you don't understand. Then actually take time to find answers. Ask your teacher, search on Google, or watch a quick video. Here's something most students don't realize. If a question comes to your mind and the answer isn't clearly written in your textbook, there's a high chance something related to it might appear in your exam. Teachers love twisting questions slightly to confuse students. But if you are someone who took extra time to understand things deeply, you'll catch those tricks easily. And that's how you score those extra marks. Trust me, so many times the random questions I thought were not important actually showed up in my exams. Tip number 4. Another mistake a lot of us make is trying to study everything at once, even when it's way more than we can handle. Instead, be smart about it. Go to your teacher and ask which topics usually come more often or carry more marks. Start with those first. You can also figure this out by checking past year papers. I know sometimes the subject feels really hard or you're studying the last minute. If that's the case, it's honestly better to master 5 out of 8 topics properly than to barely understand all of them. Because being strong in some topics will always give you better marks than being confused in all of them. Focus on what matters first. Tip 5. Disclaimer. This tip is extremely powerful. Most students ignore it. Don't be one of them. Use it at your own risk. The Feynman technique. This method is super simple but insanely powerful. Basically, you take whatever topic you are studying and rewrite it in your own words. Then you explain it out loud like you are teaching a 5-year-old kid or a friend who knows nothing about it. If you can explain something simply, that means you actually understand it. Here's how to use it. First, pick one topic, read it once, then close your book and try to explain it in your own words, out loud or on a paper. If you get stuck or confused while explaining, that's your sign. That's the part you don't fully understand yet. Go back, fix that gap, and explain again. Repeat this until your explanation feels clear and smooth. This works because your brain is forced to think, not just stare at notes. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Also comment down below which method you're going to try first. And I'll see you guys in the next video.